Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would share my thoughts with you about my physical media focus for 2025. This is something I regularly do, usually at the beginning of the year. As many of you may know, I have a very curated collection. I don't buy everything. I don't get every 4K. I don't upgrade every Blu-ray to 4K, things like that. I have a very curated collection. I love movies. I love physical media. I do have some streaming services, but every year I really try to give some thought into what I want to focus on for that particular year, what I'm doing with streaming and things like that. As we all know, streaming prices seem to be going up. We seem to see announcements weekly that things are going up. I know Netflix just announced a price increase as well. We don't currently have Netflix. I have a few streaming services. I also have a digital media collection. It was really interesting because I was looking for a movie that I'm very sure, 99% sure that I purchased on digital media, that there's no physical media for. It's a movie called That's Life from Blake Edwards. And I was looking all over the place for it because I wanted to see it. And it turns out, for some reason, I think it disappeared from my digital collection. So that's another thing that may be happening. Let me know in the comments below if you've experienced anything like this. I was looking on some Reddit groups to see if anyone had experienced that, and it seemed like a few people had experienced the same thing where they bought a digital copy of a movie and it all of a sudden disappeared. So this is another reason why 2025 is a great time to start collecting physical media. Start collecting your favorite shows and movies, especially with the rotation on streaming services of different things, because you never know, you could be looking for a show and all of a sudden it disappears. So that was something that really concerned me. So let me know again if you've experienced that in the comments. And certainly as you're watching this video, leave me a comment below and let me know what your focus is for this year if you're a physical media collector or thinking about getting into physical media. Sometimes also shows are not necessarily released on physical media. One of the shows that my wife and I really like a lot is this show which is on Max right now called The Last of Us, and I know season 2 is coming up. Luckily we picked up a physical copy of The Last of Us, but who knows when this series might be going away. So we picked up the Blu-ray for this, and you know, this is a popular show, so probably it's not going to go away on Max, but you never know what could happen or what kind of deals are going on behind the scenes. So we love this show. We picked it up on physical media so we can watch it whenever we like. And I think that's really the key to physical media collecting, is collecting movies and TV shows that you really enjoy, that you want to be able to watch whenever you want to watch them and not worry about them disappearing from a streaming service. Also, we are trying to focus on watching more maybe than collecting. I haven't really been buying as much, and I'm probably not going to buy as much this year. There are some Criterion titles that I'm interested in that I'll talk about in a minute, and some other movies that I may upgrade. But for the most part, my wife and I are focusing on watching our collection. You can see the collection behind me here, and this is just a part of it. So we're really focusing on maybe watching more than collecting. I try to do a little bit of both, but I think in this particular case or this particular year, we're really focusing on that. And one of the movies that we saw recently, which we really loved, is Dune Part 2. We didn't really have a chance to see this, or I guess we weren't in the mood to watch this last year. This happens to be the Blu-ray digital copy. I think I mentioned this in videos before too, and that is that this is really my preferred format at this point, is the Blu-ray digital, because of its affordability and because I like to have a digital copy. If you know, for the most part, if the 4K is affordable, I will pick that up. But in this case, the Blu-ray is just fine. We're watching this on Max also, but we have a digital copy and we have the Blu-ray of it too. But we really love this too. So let me know if you really enjoyed the Dune movies. We were, you know, the movies are long, and so we were looking for a time where we could really you know, devote some time to it. And recently we saw it and we really got into it. So last year I think we watched part 1 again, and then we're going to watch part 2. We started part 2, and then for whatever reason we were not in the mood for it. But this year, watching this, loved it, love it, really great, and good to have that on physical media. I was talking about also I'm focusing this year on doing some upgrades, and one of the Criterions that's coming out this year that's on my list, at the top of my list, is this Jimmy Stewart movie called Winchester 73. And you can see I have this Hollywood Icons collection with Winchester 73, Harvey, the Glenn Miller story, and You Gotta Stay Happy. And Winchester 73, you know, I just have the DVD for it. This is a DVD set. DVDs are perfectly fine too. If you find a DVD and the quality is good, and you're just maybe starting out your physical media collection, perfectly fine to have a DVD. But I'm looking forward to upgrading this. So this is one of my focus areas for 2025, is upgrading Winchester 73 to the Criterion release. I'm also looking forward to upgrading Night Moves, which is a Gene Hackman movie that I have. I already have a copy of it on Blu-ray, but I'm looking forward to that as well. So those two movies are at the top of my list for Criterion. If you're a fan of Criterion, also in the comments, let me know what you're planning to, if you're planning to upgrade, if there's any favorites on your list that you're planning to get. There's usually a flash sale, I think, in February, or at least early on in the year, so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing I'm focusing on in 2025 is really supporting some of my favorite labels, my favorite boutique labels, one of which is Kino Lorber. I just love Kino Lorber. I love what they're doing. You can see, I think, the Kino Lorber collections over on this side over here, right next to my Warner Archive. All my Warner Archive movies are there as well. But this is a 4K for The Great Escape, and it has a slipcover, which I love. You can see the description there and all the extra features on this one. This one has so many extra features, and I'm such a fan of extra features. This is also something that if you're a fan of physical media, you know, you can't, or if you just watch streaming, you can't always get all these extra features on the digital release or if you're watching online. So as a collector and a film lover, this is something that I really enjoy, is having the extra features where if I'm really into a film, really into a director or an actor, I can really I can dive into those extra features. And this is just one of many of the 4Ks that are being released, and Kino Lorber is continuing to release these. So obviously there's physical media collectors out there and are really enjoying these releases. So this is just one, again, that I'm showing. The other thing too, and this recently came in, I didn't think I would have a whole haul video because I haven't been ordering that much lately, but I have the Warner Archive release of The Thin Man, with so many great performances, Myrna Loy, William Powell, and I thought I really need to get the full Thin Man collection, so I did that. This was a little bit off, I think, on Amazon. I'm trying not to order as much from Amazon, but in this particular case, they had one, it was discounted, and this is the Thin Man collection, so this has all of the films on it. It's got The Thin Man, of course, After the Thin Man, Another Thin Man, Shadow of the Thin Man, The Thin Man Goes Home, and Song of the Thin Man, which I haven't seen. I've seen the original one. I love the original one. So that's the other focus that I have also, not only collecting Warner Archive and Kino Lorber and Criterion, but also collecting some of the older films that I love. And certainly The Thin Man, the first movie I really enjoyed. And so I like, being able to collect some older films. That's really, as I mentioned in the beginning, where I have a very curated collection of films that I love. And I'm also really trying in 2025 to collect films and TV shows that I can watch over and over again. If you've been watching the vlogs too, you'll see that I'm watching Barney Miller. I'm rewatching Columbo. So there's a lot of those types of shows that really bring me joy, that I enjoy watching. And with streaming services, with the streaming service prices increasing constantly, my wife and I are also looking at all of our streaming services to see maybe if we can eliminate one or try to get a streaming service for a couple of months and go through as much of the content as we might enjoy, and then eliminating that streaming service, or deciding what physical media to buy. One of the reasons I like to talk about the Criterion channel so much is it's one of the most affordable, I think, streaming service. You get a wide variety of movies and special features on the Criterion channel, but you can also preview maybe movies that you might watch over and over again. So if I'm interested in a Criterion release, I will watch the Criterion channel, see if it's on there, watch it, and then decide if I would like to purchase it or not. I don't have all the Criterion releases at all. So that is really my focus, my physical media focus for 2025. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking about in terms of physical media collecting. Maybe you're just getting started in physical media collecting. You can certainly ask a question, leave a comment. Let's keep the dialogue moving in the comment section below. I really appreciate everyone watching this video today. If you like this video, click on like. And if this is your first video on the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.